juice comes out. She is like that. Any bhav of hers, any mood of hers, it is only for Krishna. And she cannot think of anything other than Krishna. Okay. The second point is that she is a counterpart. She is completely equal to Krishna in everything. Okay. Krishna has 64 qualities and Srimati Radharani has 25 qualities. And the 25th quality is she can control that 64 qualities of Krishna. That means she can control Krishna completely, right? The 25th quality, the number, if you look at the quantity, Srimati Radharani may say, Array, it's only 25 qualities. And Krishna has 64 qualities. But the last quality of Srimati Radharani is she can control Krishna. Once when Srila Prabhupada was giving a class on Radhashtami, he gave 1 hour lecture on Krishna's greatness. Okay. And somebody in the audience said, Srila Prabhupada, today is Radhashtami. So Prabhupada added one sentence at the last. He said, whatever qualities you saw in Krishna, all of this is controlled by Srimati Radharani. Radharani controls him. And he just added that sentence and ended the meeting. So, like that, Krishna and Radha are non-different. When it comes to rasa, there is a difference. Okay, we'll come to that. So, the first meaning is that remember the gulab jamun or any sweet where you bite into it any direction, it is only juice coming out, right? It is like that. Radharani is like that, where any direction, anywhere you see, she's thinking of Krishna. Second point is that she is non-different from Krishna. The other thing, that the original Krishna, right? We will try and understand how the existence, Radharani and Krishna eternally exist. But how is that existence? When you think of the absolute truth, in the beginning of creation, there was only absolute truth. There was nothing other than the absolute truth. There was no wind, water, air, prakriti, nothing existed. This comes even in Gajendra Moksha. It says, after everything is annihilated and even before anything is created, oh Lord, you're the only one existing, you're the only one standing. Nobody is existing, right? That is the absolute truth. And when that absolute truth, if you look at that absolute truth, spiritually, biologically, there is no male and female part for the Lord. Okay, it is not in the material sense of male and female. But we say Krishna is Purna, Purnamada, Purnamada, Purnasya. We say that Purna, Krishna is Purna. He harmonizes all opposites. He is both very big as the universal form and he is as small as a thumb when he entered Uttara's womb. So he has both contradictions. When he has all the contradictions in him, he must have the male and the female also. Not biologically, spiritually also, he has to have the male and the female. And that is where the existence of Srimati Radharani comes. So in the beginning, the absolute truth was one. And he was very, very happy. He was completely in bliss. But when you're alone, when you're singular, right? If a person is alone, they're not married and they don't have a family, say, they're happy. They may be happy, but they need somebody to interact and expand that happiness, right? And that expansion of happiness is Srimati Radharani. When you look at when Krishna thought Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman, that means Krishna expands himself for that interaction, for that love, for that karma has started. That he wants to get that highest level of ecstasy. Krishna is satisfying all our wishes, all our desires. But Krishna had one desire to extrapolate this happiness or bliss. And that happiness from his heart, it came out as Srimati Radharani. So when Krishna expands, see, even in Beyond Birth and Death, I think there is a chapter where Prabhupada talks about it. Why did Krishna create us? Because we need, Krishna wanted the association to enjoy that bliss. Being alone, he is very happy, he is content, but there is more happiness in exchanging that rasa. Okay, and that is why we exist. The very purpose of our existence, Prabhupada writes in that Beyond Birth and Death, one of the chapters, that we come into existence only to give pleasure to the Lord, because Krishna can exchange that loving exchange with us. In the same way, he had to expand himself for that, further expansion. Srimati Radharani was the first expansion. From his left side came Srimati Radharani. From his right side came the Balaramji. Okay, that is how the expansion happened, and that is how Srimati Radharani came into existence. Krishna has many, 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 many potencies. Okay, he has lot of potencies. The queen of all potencies, the Adi Shakti, is Srimati Radharani. All other Shaktis are actually coming out of Srimati Radharani. There is another shloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 4, 96. This particular chapter, from 92 to 100 verses. Just go through it when you get some time today. You don't have to read the Bengali or the thing, just read the translation. It glorifies Srimati Radharani. From 92 to 100. CC Adi Leela, chapter 4. राधा पूर्ण शक्ति कृष्ण पूर्ण शक्तिमान दुई वस्त भेद नहीं शास्त्रेर प्रमाण. What does this say? That Radharani and Krishna are equal. Okay, they are equal in power. They have everything in equal. But in rasa, one becomes the Shaktiman, the creator of the Shakti, and the other becomes the Shakti. Okay, the two phenomena, there is a change in the existence of the reasoning of the existence changes, and that reasoning of existence is one is Shaktiman and one is Shakti. Okay, in if you look at the potency, both are equal, but when it comes to rasa, Tattva, both are equal, like Balaramji. If you look at Balaramji and Krishna, there is no difference. In the same way, there is no difference between Srimati Radharani and Krishna. But when it comes to Rasa Swadan, one becomes the giver of rasa and one becomes the vastu of rasa, or the object of attraction, and the other one becomes the attracted. Okay? Just to have that mellow, right? Just to exchange, one has to be Prakriti, one has to be Purusha. Otherwise, there is that exchange of love cannot be defined. It cannot exist. And for that Rasaswadan, Krishna and Radha come into existence. But if you see, you'll see one of the pastimes is there where, it proves that Srimati Radharani is equal to Krishna in all ways. So there is one Upanishad called as Radhopanishad. Okay, it is not defined in the 108 Upanishads, but it is existing. In that, what happens is Sanat Kumaras, they were still impersonalists. What is impersonalism? They understood the Lord as a Shakti, but not the personality as a Bhagavan. The Lord did not exist as a person for them. The Lord existed as a powerhouse. This was that time when their consciousness was thinking that the Lord is the powerhouse. Okay, they actually questioned Brahmaji, who is their father. From the mind of Brahma came Sanat Kumaras, the four Kumaras. So they asked Brahmaji, who is the supreme personality of Godhead? Brahma actually responds, oh, Krishna, the absolute truth. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is great. He is unequal. I mean, nobody is equal to him. He is the only supreme, and it is not a position he is ever existing. All the glories of Krishna were given. And later he says, I heard. I heard from the Shruti Gopis. Who are the Shruti Gopis? The Vedas themselves are called the Shruti Gopis. In Canto 10, the Vedas actually say a prayer to the Lord, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there he heard that the Shruti Gopis, it is none other than the Vedas, are called the Shruti Gopis. They pray glorifying Srimati Radharani. So he says, oh, there is also another personality who is equal to Krishna in all, in the potency, and that is Srimati Radharani. You understood only the impersonal form of the Lord and the personal form of the Lord. The exoteric, the ecstatic, the highest level of devotion that you can see is through Srimati Radharani. See, devotion becomes very dry and mundane in the sadhaka level, in the Vaidhi Bhakti level. But as you progress towards Raganuga Bhakti, it becomes more sweeter, and continue to proceed in that Raganuga. Then it comes to Bhav, Mahabhav, and beyond that Mahabhav is Srimati Radharani. It is such a high reach that, forget Mahabhav, we can't even reach the Bhav level. We are still in Vaidhi Bhakti. For us, it is like a big unclimbable mountain. It is that devotion. There is nothing for Srimati Radharani. There is no other existence. The only existence she knows is to worship the Lord. That is her level. So she is actually above Mahabhav. It is said there are 8 stages even after Mahabhav. Okay. And there are only 2 people who have gone up till there. One is Chandravali and the other one is Srimati Radharani. Chandravali also falls one level below. She couldn't reach that higher level. Srimati Radharani reached that higher level of devotion. And that is how Brahma explains. And he explains that, Krishna has varied potencies, but one of the potency is the greatest of all. It's like you have many jewelry at home, but one jewelry, look at a diamond necklace, it is the queen of all jewelry. Like that, Srimati Radharani is the queen of all the Shaktis that Krishna can ever possess, and that is the Hladini potency of the Lord. And that manifested as a person as Srimati Radharani. That is Srimati Radharani. That's how he explains. Okay. And Srimati Radharani is the pleasure giving potency because Krishna has everything. Krishna is Atmaram, he has everything. But there is one thing that he desires, that is devotion. The love in devotion, he wants to taste that. And that is to the fullest potency, the maximum level Srimati Radharani has. The Krishna is very, very, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So his expectation is also very high, okay? When it comes to, I'll give you a small example. Krishna changes his garland every second. It is said Krishna changes his garland every second. So to serve Krishna, how quickly you have to make garland, isn't it? That is one part of it. Like that, there are many services for Krishna. Okay? And Srimati Radharani is the only one who can satisfy all. And she can go beyond. How much service she can do to Krishna, she can go beyond Krishna's expectation. And Krishna doesn't have to tell, Array, I want cup of water, I want food. He doesn't have to tell. She understands him even before the thought even comes to him, and she's able to serve him. And that is the potency, energy of the Lord, that is Srimati Radharani. Now you'll be able to understand her service level, right? It is very, very high, very, very high. And then how is this pleasure potency the highest? Why do we say this pleasure potency is highest? Through Tattva we'll understand. We all know Satchit Ananda. When we came into Bhakti, what was one thing Prabhupada stresses from the beginning? That we are not the body, we are the Atma. The minute we understand we are eternal, there is some kind of peace in the heart, isn't it? We are not going to die. That means the body is going to die, but we are not going to die. That very thought that you are going to continue to exist gives you some peace in the heart, isn't it? So the first level of understanding is that I am Sat. That means I am eternal. Okay, that is the first part. Once you become perfect in that, you will move on to knowledge. Knowledge of whom? Knowledge of Krishna, knowledge of yourself, and what is the sambandha between you and Krishna. That gives you a higher understanding, right? That it is not just the existence that I have, but I have a position, I have like a service. I am a servitor to that Lord. And when you start understanding that Lord, the second level of peace is followed in the heart, isn't it? And the third one, see, all the Vaidhi Bhakti, Raganubhakti Bhakti, all that, why people are so fond of it. The Acharyas talk about it so nicely. The Goswamis say there is nothing more beyond this. This is the ultimate. Why are they saying that? Because they are getting some kind of ananda from it. Okay. So eventually the sadhana bhakti, first, that existence, I am eternal, gives you one kind of peace only. The second is, I also have a position, I have an identity, and that identity Krishna knows, and Krishna is the supreme. That gives you another level of satisfaction. The third level is that bliss or that ananda that you will get doing this bhakti. Okay, so if you look at the sequence of perfection, right, it says Sat Chit Ananda. All your bhakti should ultimately end up in that ananda, that supreme joy. And that is why that supreme joy or the pleasure potency becomes the highest. That's why Srimati Radharani is the highest. I hope you're getting it. So, Satchit Ananda, the most important part is Ananda. But for us to reach that Ananda, we have to traverse this path of Satchit Ananda. Our Atma, we say Satchit Ananda. We don't say Chit Ananda Sat. We don't say. We don't say Ananda Chit Sat. We don't say like that. It is a sequence because the bhakti is performed like that. The perfection in bhakti happens in that way. And that highest level of bhakti, perfection that you reach is Ananda, and that's why Srimati Radharani is Ananda. Okay. And how the technical names for it is Sandini, Samvit. First comes Sandini. Sandini, who is the greatest in Sandini? Our gurus, our Guru Vargas, Nityananda Prabhu or Balaramji, Adi Guru. He is the top in Sandini Shakti. That means he will give us that eternity, that existence. And Samvit is Krishna. Chit, the Chit potency, the knowledge of the existence is coming from Krishna. And that Haladini is actually the proprietor of Haladini is Srimati Radharani. So if any of us are feeling any kind of bhakti towards Krishna, it is actually coming from Srimati Radharani. It is her energy only flowing through all of us which is coming. And how much is her love for Krishna? A small, teeny tiny drop of it is the mother's love for a child. If you look at a mother, when she delivers a baby, she is very tired, extremely tired sometimes. And she may be going through so many problems, but she still wakes up to feed the baby, no matter how, what she is going through. And is that because of something expectation? There is no expectation there. What can a baby give you at that small age, right? The baby has to be taken care, but the mother selflessly does that. That is one teeny tiny drop of love that you can see that Srimati Radharani has for Krishna. And it is said that Srimati Radharani is the mother, universal mother for all of us. How is that? See, we may have millions, we all have mothers, but in this Janma only, right? In next Janma, we'll have somebody else as a mother. But Srimati Radharani is a mother eternally, and her love for us is like 40 million or even billions of mothers put together, how much of love they have. That is the love that Srimati Radharani has for the Jiva Tattvas. She's always waiting to bring us close to Krishna. There is another saying about how humble and how in it is very difficult to understand Srimati Radharani's heart. Krishna himself says, I can't understand her heart. You know, it is very difficult to understand her heart. One small example is when she loves Krishna a lot, okay? She loves Krishna a lot and she's ready to do anything for Krishna. But when a devotee does something for Krishna, she brings them in front of Krishna and she tells Krishna, this person is doing much better than seva than me. I'm doing nothing for you, Krishna. This person is doing much better seva. Who can say that, right? You can understand her humility, and she's always in that humility stage only where she feels that she's not doing enough for Krishna and all the other devotees are doing very well for Krishna. And that's why Uddhava, Lord Shivji, everybody are waiting for the dust of Srimati Radharani. Her lotus feet dust, they all want that. Shivji has actually written Radhashtakam. He glorifies Srimati Radharani. Every devata is glorifying Srimati Radharani. We don't know that. Just because we don't know that, we are so ignorant, right? Even if somebody opens up this, we will not understand. And just because we don't understand, it does not exist is a wrong concept. And that's why Srila Prabhupada or Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they never opened up this tattva anywhere. But on the day of Srimati Radharani's appearance day, we have to glorify her. We have to glorify her, and we have to make sure that we try to understand at least. Even the little bit of effort we put in understanding her is very nice. And Krishna is defined as the Ananda Swarup, and Srimati Radharani is defined as the Ananda Swarupa. She has taken that form. Okay. He has Ananda, but she's taken that form of his Ananda. She's taken that form itself. And Krishna Aradyati Radha, Radha Aradyati Krishna. That means Krishna is always worshipping Srimati Radharani, Radharani is always worshipping Krishna. Srimati Radharani has lot of names. Vrishambhanu Nandini, Vrajeshwari, Rasaveshwari, Rasa, the Rasa dance owner, proprietor for Rasa dance. Then Gandharvika. Gandharvika means she is an expert in many of the arts. Dancing, you think of, playing musical instruments, everything she's an expert. It is said that, Krishna is a Adi Guru, we say, but Krishna himself says Srimati Radharani is my Guru because she is very good in all these things. And if you see the ISKCON temples, right, Srimati Radharani likes the name Radha more than anything. She has many names, but she like Kshameshwari, Rameshwari, she has so many names. But she likes the name Radha. Why does she like the name Radha? We'll come to that. So ISKCON temples, every temple, Krishna's name will change depending on the mood of Krishna. But there is only one Radha everywhere. Radha Damodar, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopi Vallabha. Everything is only Radha. But the Krishna's name will change everywhere, right? Why? Because Srimati Radharani likes that name. Radha comes from the word Aradyati. Okay. And Krishna says, whoever says Ra, you open your mouth to say Ra, right? Krishna runs and comes, whether you will say Dha, right? And he is very pleased when he hears you say that word Radha. And the other meaning for Radha is Ra means giver, Dha means Davat. She's always running to give pleasure to Krishna. As soon as she manifested, the first thing she did was she started running to give pleasure to Krishna. That is Srimati Radharani. That is a potency of Srimati Radharani. And once Yashoda Maya, so there are two meanings from Aradyati. One meaning is that she is always trying to do aradhana of Krishna, and the other meaning is she is the one whom Krishna worships, or Krishna does aradhana to. It is both ways. That's why it is very important. Once Yashoda Maya comes to Krishna and she says, you shouldn't just waste your time, you should start chanting the Lord's name. Please do chant Narayana's name. Okay, and he starts chanting, and then it is established in Canto 10. Brahmaji establishes that Narayana is the expansion of Krishna. Why would Krishna chant Narayana's name? But because of the pleasure of his mother, he actually, even in Putana Leela, if you see, Putana Leela, when it happened, after Putana died and Krishna was cleansed by all the gopis and some mantra was chanted and everything, Yashoda Maya actually calls different forms of the Lord to protect every organ, every body part of Krishna. And she calls upon Narayana, Vishnu, Haladara. She calls so many, all expansions of Krishna only she calls to protect Krishna. And even Nanda Baba, when he's out of town when Putana comes to kill Krishna, and he comes running back home because Vasudev Maharaj actually told Nanda Baba, there's going to be some danger in your city or in your town. When he's coming back, he's actually chanting the names of his Ishtadev, or his house god, we say, right? At home there is Devata, one Devata, and the house Devata for Nanda Baba was Narayana. So he started chanting the names of Lord Narayana, and he started praying to Narayana, please protect my child Krishna, he said. So it is very, it is for Krishna, it is very thing that, my expansion, why are you praying? But here also Yashodamai says, pray to Narayana. He keeps doing that, but when his mother is not around, he is actually chanting Radha's name. Now there is a confusion, right? Are we chanting Radha's name? No, we are chanting Krishna's name. So what do we do? If we chant Krishna's name, Radharani becomes happy. If we chant Radha's name, Krishna becomes happy. Now what do we chant? We chant a Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Hare stands for Srimati Radharani. And if you see the potency of Srimati Radharani, right? There are 8 Hares in our Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There's only 4 Krishnas and 4 Ramas. So finally, we have to catch hold of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet only. And it is very beautifully said that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra starts with the Hare and ends with the Hare. Why is that? Because while chanting, my mind is going to go. Finally, I completed my rounds, and I say, Hare Hare. I completed my rounds. I'm falling to the feet of Srimati Radharani and saying, I don't know what I chanted. Please, please, you take care of it, right? So that is how it is. That, she has a greater potency. Krishna is very merciful, but Srimati Radharani is more merciful to give us Krishna. If you want Krishna, the only option is through a guru, you have to reach Srimati Radharani. And even to reach Srimati Radharani expands herself as 8 Sakhis, 8 important Sakhis. And out of the 8 Sakhis, the most important Sakhi is Lalita Sakhi. So if you want Srimati Radharani, you have to catch hold of Lalita Sakhi. She will be able to influence Srimati Radharani to take our service. So there are 2 more pastimes and then we can end. So once what happened is, Prithu Muni was approached by Vrishbhanu Maharaj. Why was he approached by Vrishbhanu Maharaj? Vrishbhanu Maharaj wanted a daughter who is more greater or glorified than Sati or Parvati. See, Sati or Parvati becomes the daughter of Himadri or the Himalayas. Okay. See, this is the Srimati Radharani's appearance has many, many leelas. Okay. One of the leela is this, where Vishabhanu Maharaj, somehow he is in a quarrel with the Himalayas, and Himalaya gets a daughter as Parvati Devi, and he wants a greater daughter or more glorified daughter than Sati Devi. So he approaches Prithu Muni. Prithu Muni says, he gives him the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and he says, you chant this mantra. The way you chant it is, you have to focus your mind and start chanting. As you start chanting, your consciousness will be purified and your heart will become like a golden lotus. And then that glorified personality will manifest. And that's what Vrishabhanu Maharaj did. He kept chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it is said. Because the word Hare is for Srimati Radharani. Very soon, in thousand petal golden lotus flower, he actually found a baby. And that baby is none other than Srimati Radharani. She manifested first in the heart of Rishabhanu Maharaj. Just like, if you want Srimati Radharani also, she will be able to manifest in your heart. And she will be able to teach you how to do devotion service to Krishna just by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. We want to serve both Radha and Krishna together, and for that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the only mantra. Okay, so I don't remember which book this is. I think Bhakti Charu Maharaj has written a book. I think it is about the pastimes of Srimati Radharani. It comes in that there were two demons called Harshan and Marshan, and they were great devotees of Vishnu. There was not a day when they did not chant the Vishnu Sahasranama. They always continuously chanted the Vishnu Sahasranama. See, Vishnu, Lord Vishnu is the Aishwarya Tattva. Okay. So Harshan and Marshan were great in Aishwarya. They had all the opulences because they were chanting the names of Vishnu every day. But they were notorious, they had become demons. So none of the devatas were able to take care of them, and they approached Krishna finally. Krishna said, I cannot take care of this demon because they are chanting the Vishnu Sahasranama. I cannot, there is no impact by me on them. I cannot do anything. And everybody was shocked. How come Krishna is saying he can't do anything? But he said, in the Aishwarya Tattva, there is one person who has the potency to take care of these two demons just like this. And then they said, who is that? And Krishna says, she can take care. And then everybody is puzzled. It's a she. Who is the she? And then Krishna says, it is my Adi Shakti. She has the potency to take care of these two, although they are topmost in Aishwarya. Why? Because all the Lakshmis who come, they actually come from Srimati Radharani. If you see any of the other goddesses who have manifested, they're all part and parcel of Srimati Radharani. So in Aishwarya means what? Lakshmi is the owner of it. Where is Lakshmi coming from? She is actually coming from Srimati Radharani. So in Aishwarya Tattva, Srimati Radharani is a top notch. So then he takes all the demigods to Srimati Radharani and he begs Srimati Radharani, please can you take care of Harshan and Marshan? She says, yeah, I can take care. It is said that Srimati Radharani did not borrow the Sudarshana Chakra from Krishna. She had her own Sudarshana Chakra also. She was able to take care of Harshan and Marshan just like that. Even where Krishna cannot enter. See, we've seen demons being killed by Krishna, right? Srimati Radharani has equal potency to kill demons also. She has equal potency. But we don't see that because the tattva is hidden, because it is very important. Nobody can understand and they will be misunderstood. And when you misunderstand, right? Again, your bhakti, you'll fall down in bhakti. And that's why it is not exposed, and it is very difficult for Srimati Radharani when people don't understand and misunderstand. It's very hurtful for her also, and that's why it's not exposed. The last thing I will say, and once Srimati Radharani was waiting for Krishna, and Krishna never came on time. And Srimati Radharani went into Man. Man means transcendental anger. She was in Man and she never even wanted to see Krishna. And Krishna approached Lalita Sakhi saying that, please, I want to see. If I don't see her, I don't know what is going to happen to me. I'm extremely sorry. And then Lalita Sakhi said, no, you cannot see her. And then Krishna started begging her. And then Lalita Sakhi went and spoke to Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani said, no, I don't want to see him. He's taking me for granted. I don't want to see him. And then she puts three three things which, three punishments that she gives. And then she says, you have to do this, only then I can, come out. The first punishment is he has to take out all his hair, and he has to have a shika and wear a sannyasi cloth, and he should not engage with anybody. He should become a sannyasi. Second thing is he has to glorify Srimati Radharani. Okay. And the third thing is he has to preach to the world Bhakti Yoga and about Srimati Radharani. And Krishna agreed to all these three things. Because he agreed to all these things, he manifested to fulfill that as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you see the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation, he is in sannyas yoga. He is in sannyas yoga, and he glorified Srimati Radharani because he had the mood of Srimati Radharani in the heart. And he also experienced the Vipralamba Bhav that Srimati Radharani day in and day out, every day, she is the epitome of that Vipralamba Bhav. What is Vipralamba Bhav? In separation. And she said one of the conditions was you have to experience that. And he did experience when he lived in Jagannath Puri, he used to cry out so much for the Lord because he was in the mood of Srimati Radharani experiencing that Vipralamba Bhav. And the third thing is he had to preach about devotion, and that's why he gave the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to the world. Preaching was through the Hare Krishna, being very, very merciful preaching, and that is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which was given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the world. Without that, it is said that the first person, the founder Acharya for the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is Srimati Radharani. In that Vipralamba Bhav, she actually chanted that mantra. And that's why that mantra has a lot of potency, lot and lot. We don't understand. Manikya is given into our hand, but we don't understand the importance of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The day we understand the importance of Hare Krishna Mantra, we won't be able to chant. Even one word will not come out of our mouth, right? Today we are casually looking at phone, looking at TV, walking around, talking to people and chanting because we've taken it for granted. But it is a chintamani. It is really a chinta. What is a chintamani? A chintamani is a stone which will convert everything into gold, right? But it will never lose its potency. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is like that. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra has the potency to give everybody that energy, but it will never lose its own potency. It has so much potency that it gives out that energy and still it is potent. That is Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So, with that, I will end today's session, dear devotees. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to glorify Srimati Radharani. I hope I've not offended anybody, and I'm not offended Srimati Radharani to be, in any ways. It is a little mind with a little knowledge talking, and I seek blessing of all you people, all the Vaishnavas assembled here, to pray for